What's up? What's up? How are you doing? Wow, what a week, my friend. Wow. Hope you guys are doing well. Leo niliamua I'm going to stay indoors because I looked around and I realized today going out there will actually cause more harm than good. So I decided leo ninaka ndani yake. So listen, so as I've been here tangu asubuhi, I've just been thinking about the whole situation that we have in this country. I've been looking at how things have turned out. And number one, I want to say a big shout out to Gen Z because you guys are fearless. You guys have come out and you've shown the country something that has never been shown. Najua hizi ni vitu watu wamesema through and through, so I'm not going to dwell on that. One thing I will just say is now that we are here, now that we have landed a platform in this country, now that our voices are out there, now that we have made a statement, what next? And in my mind, I've been going around, I've been thinking, I've been watching videos of guys who are probably my age or younger talking about the plan. What's the plan moving forward? Because, it's one thing could get your platform, is another thing to actually use it. Now we are at a place where we have a voice. We are at a place where we have leverage. And as you know, people in power hate it when someone else has leverage over them. I said this before, they did that with the church in the previous video nilikuwa nayo hapa. And now, they are going to come for what you have. Always remember that people in power will always want to have it all. So, their game plan is now, how do we get this leverage? So utaona wakijaribu every tactic in the book. Number one tactic that is already out there, they're already using it right now as we speak, is called the divide and conquer. That means they're going to try and divide us. They're going to try and throw us many opportunities. Whenever they get a chance, they're going to try and throw as many obstacles to us so that we can be divided, because they hate it when people speak one language. They hate it when people go out there in one voice, because once you can stand with your own voice, once you can stand and have one voice going at this, you are way above. You have all the leverage. And so what happens is, now the people in power look at that and they see, how can we divide these people? Because for them, they just want to stay in power. Always remember that people in power want to stay in power. That's why they try as many things as possible to try and dominate you. So now that we have a voice, they will try and come at social media. Because the one thing that has united us across the country, the one thing that has united young people across the world is social media. Unakumbuka in the previous video, if you haven't watched the previous video, just check it. It's like either below this or beside this, depending on where you're watching it from. When the church came out during ile time ya constitution, and the church had a voice and they had leverage, what happened? They looked for ways to conquer it, and eventually they got their way in, and that's how they've managed to silence the church right now when it matters most. So now they have seen social media ndio inaleta hawa watu pamoja. They are going to come at social media. They're going to try as many things as possible to try and silence to get the, what is it called? The powers. The power of the social media. The fact that I can sit in my house here in Limuru and talk to someone who is in Kisumu, who is going to get this video at the exact point I post it. Now, we have all this TikTok live going on. That right now, I don't have to sit and watch the news on TV. That I can just go on TikTok and flip, and I will catch live streams of the demonstrations going on right now in town. Now they're going to come at that. They're going to realize, oh shoot, we can actually get these guys as once they stop talking to each other. So they're going to come at the platforms that we are using to unite, that have been key in bringing us together, in bringing this one voice together. They're going to come at that, and before you know it, they're going to limit our access to each other. So what plan do we have for that? What are we going to do after that? Now ikifika mahali penye sasa I can't talk to you, ikifika mahali you can't talk to me, I can't go on social media and scroll and find who's on live and meet someone and actually get to chat and DM someone who's far and wide, and we can create a relationship that is virtual. That will be the next target, and I'm seeing it coming very fast. So what plan do we have now moving forward that will keep us keep this leverage that we have? Because we need to keep this leverage until the next election, where we can actually use it for our advantage. Tuko pamoja? That means now that we have come together, now that social media has brought us together, we now need to create as many physical meetings as possible. Tulia. There are people who have stood with us during this time. Kuna watu have given us their places. Kuna beautiful restaurants like Java, Moi Avenue, that opened the door for us. Now we need to take advantage of those moments and create as many physical meetings as possible, because now they're going to start limiting our conversations. They're going to start tapping into these conversations that we have all the time, and they are going to try and silence as many of us as possible, because they are seeing we have the numbers, we have the leverage. Gen Zs and millennials have the numbers. Now, how can we dominate them? Remember, these people are wise. These people have played this game back and forth over and over, and we cannot give them power over this. So number one, we need the same way to unite all over the country, and we have done demonstrations together as one voice across the nation. We now need to create as many physical meetings as possible. Now these are not going to be chaotic. We need to be wise about how we moving forward, because now they have their eyes on us. Have you seen how many police officers have been deployed in Nairobi alone today? Have you seen the army? Have you seen the number of police, plainclothes, DCI, Nani, everyone, the KDF, GSU, what? Have you seen how many there are in the city today? That coming together, hata mwezi kaa pamoja mahali kama watu watano mkae mwanze, hata even if you're not even picketing, you're just seated together, you're just together, mko mahali tu, mko mmesimama pamoja, hata kaa ni kwa stage ya matatu. Have you seen that? Now, the good thing about this is, sisi, we do not have limits. Si hatunanga Monday to Friday. We can meet any day of the week. We can meet even on Sunday afternoon. We can, because we have it. We have this power. We can create these moments for ourselves. We can meet and go hiking and talk about what's the plan. We can meet and travel, go to the coast, do whatever it is we do. But we can meet even in business. I have met so many during this week as we have been out there. I have managed to network with so many people. I'm opening a new shop, and I have met someone who's dealing with the products that I'll be putting at the shop. Beautiful network. Now that is a relationship that will begin to grow from now until the day nitachoka kufanya hiyo business niingie kwa ingine. And even as we grow, we'll meet people along the way. Now, my people, my generation, kujeni hapa. It's about time for us to see the bigger picture in this. Remember, I told you, this whole thing has nothing to do with the finance bill. Yes, it was what brought us together, but this whole movement has to be more than the finance bill. The same way for them, it's more than, there's so much that was hidden in the finance bill that was going to take us out. Now, we need to create this to be more than just finance bill. I believe wewe, as you have been walking around, as we have been out there in the streets tukikula tear gas, kuna msee umekutana naye mwenye unaweza network naye mfanye biashara. True or false? I'm sure as you've been walking around, you've met someone who's doing something you've always wanted to do, that you can literally just network with them and they can lead you through the processes. Let this not just be about the finance bill. Let this be even for our growth. What are you about even our growth, manze? Tumekaa tukitegemea gava sana. It's about time for us to start looking at ourselves and saying, hey, listen, this week I've been walking around the streets, I've met Caliph Cairo. I've always wanted a certain kind of car. Now, since I've met with Caliph, siyo ni relationship imeanza. If I ever need a car, then I know I'm going to go to Caliph. I'm not going to fight Caliph. He's doing a good job selling cars, and I'm going to go straight to his website and get the car I want, and we can be business associates. Think about it. This week has not just been about the finance bill. This week has brought us together for more than just the 135 pages of the finance bill. This week umekuwa nje kwa street. Maybe umekuwa ukitaka kufanya media. Maybe you've even gone to Kole, you've studied, you've done mass comm. You've met with me I'm in media. Nikasikia opportunity kwa station yangu. You know who I'll call? You. Why? Because we came together in one voice. We were out there in the streets, and I know you're a solid person. Kama tunaweza enda pamoja na tujuani tuende to fight, tuingie parliament. Then nikisikia opportunity kwa place yangu ya job, who's the best person to call? You. So what I'm trying to say is, let this week be more than just the finance bill. As you can hear, my voice is not yet back. Ile kushout on Tuesday, my voice is still not yet back. So, so what I'm trying to say is, let this be more than just the finance bill we've been fighting. Yes, the enemy was the finance bill when we came together, but it is an opportunity for us to network. It is also an opportunity for us to sit together, come up with a strategy on how we are going to get a seat so that we can also be a part of this movement, a part of the table. Remember, there is a table, eh? Kuna table inakuanga pale. We need to be part of that table. Having our voice is just letting these people who are seated at the table know that, hey, we are here, motherfuckers, and we are not backing down. I remember when on Tuesday, we were going out, I had the MPs here saying, I've talked to the police chief, and even as we go on with the parliamentary proceedings, we are sure that no one will break through these doors until those doors were broken into. Then they realized, shit, these guys have more power than we thought. Now listen, this coming together, now that we have raised our voices and they know that we exist, it's time for us to figure out how do we get a seat at that table. Because we need to get a seat at that table. We need to be represented at that table. And it's not about us electing a leader, aende akakae huko. No, it's about us now beginning to understand that, you know what? We have a voice. Now we need to get this voice activated by getting a voter's card. All right? So once I register as a voter, now my voice is activated. Now in 2027, I need to look for someone who is my age or in my age group that I can vote in, so that my voice, so that now I can be represented at the table by someone who is of my youth, of my tribe, which is tribeless, of my voice. All right? So now we need to sit back and strategize. Remember, I told you in the previous video, saizi palituko, we need to play chess. This is a game of chess. It's not checkers. Easy draft in chess. And when you're playing chess, you sit quietly. You look at your opponent in the eye so that you see him crafting every move. And before he knows it, you are checkmate, motherfucker. and you take him out. So now, between now and the next election, we need to figure out what next. As we have been out there, we have noticed there are people who have leadership qualities. We don't need to bring Fred Matiang'i back, my people. Hawa ni watu already washakuwa pale. We need new faces, my man. So, as we have been out there, you've noticed there are people who have a voice. There are people who are able to bring people together. Now, those are the people we need to start grooming to sit at this table. We don't need to bring kina Fred Matiang'i. Ati Fred Matiang'i the 6th? Hapana. This guy has been there. He knows the game. We need to now have someone of our own making. We need to have someone with our own voice. We need to have someone who can speak in our language, in our tongue. We need someone who can represent us pale kwa hiyo meza. We need to have a fresh face. We need to build, we need to create our own. It's not about putting the people who've already been there till we bring them back. Hapana, mtu alishaenda ameenda. We are bringing new faces. And it's about us to now start. That's why I said, moving forward, we need to have as many physical meetings as possible so that we can begin to identify amongst ourselves who is worthy to sit at that table. Who has the listening capacity yenye tunahitaji when he sits on the table atatusikiza. Because what we have today is people who are not listening. They are not listening to us. So we need someone who's not going to be arrogant. And by the way, in your constituencies, as you go back to your constituencies, if you have a voter's card, where you vote from, MP wako amevote yes. That is because he has been paid. We need someone who cannot be compromised. We have 2.5 years, people. 2.5 years is enough to get people who are worthy, people who are of good quality, people who are not going to be compromised or silenced by money, people who are independent thinkers. Saisi time ya kuanza kuvote. Did you notice that the speeches our MPs were giving us ilikuwa, mimi si nyinyi mlinivotia, nilivotiwa na chama yangu. Umbwa wewe. It's about time for us to get independent thinkers. Shida tulifanya last time ni ati tulikuwa tunavote. Wote ni wa UDA. Now look at how much we've been fucked by that. That MP wako alienda akavote 2 yes, alafu akasema ni aje, by the way, si nyinyi mlinivotia, ni chama yangu, UDA ndio ilinivotia. Fuck you, man. Now, my people, young people, please listen. We need to have as many physical meetings. I will repeat that over and over so that we can identify who amongst us has the character, has the capacity, and is as independent as possible, that cannot be corrupted or bought, so that we can put them at the table, because now we have the leverage. With that leverage, kama una voters card, begin to figure out how you're going to get one, and then come 2027 we will have identified, because we will have as many physical meetings as possible, because internet, they are coming for it, so we cannot identify you through the internet. So if you want the seat, begin to show up. Begin to show up for the physical meetings. Begin to show up for activities, for things that people do. Begin to show up for those tree plantings when you're seeing people going for children's homes. Begin to show up. Because we need, number one, we need MCAs who are independent thinkers. We need MPs who are independent thinkers. As in, kiti tu sio ya president. We need to have it all the way. Kutoka kwa MCA, tukuje kwa MP, tuende kwa women rep, senator, governor, on and on. So that once we get the seat at the table, we don't just have one person representing us, we have a full backup. We have a full team of people who are already there, so that when we bring up a motion in parliament, it will be backed by our people. When they bring out a motion that is going to fuck people up, it is going to be rejected by our people. Are we together, my peoples? It's about time for us to start to think, enough of the rioting, enough of the demonstrations. In fact, hata tukitaka kuwa blind vizuri, let's create another demo on Tuesday and then we stay off. Makarao washinde huko wakizunguka peke yao. And then now we come back, we come down and quietly strategize on how we are going to get a seat at that motherfucking table, because come 2027, it's about time for us to go in there, and not just the president's seat, not just State House, but even the August House, even the county assembly, whatever, tupate easy seats so that we can begin to command change in this country. Are we together? I gotta go. Hata hiyo anapiga kelele huko nje, so I gotta end this live or this video. But thank you, man. Kudos to everyone who showed up, man. That is solidarity. That is amazing. From all the counties, manzi, in Kenya, people showed up. People turned up. Condolences to the people, the families, and the people who died. Those are our heroes. And indeed, when I look at all that, I say, let that blood not be lost. Also, Mededi, let it count for something, my people. Let it count for something. Of course, kwa gava is just bullshit. It doesn't matter. They don't even give a fuck, by the way. They don't give a fuck. That's why watatuma military gedho waende washoot tu watu randomly. What the fuck is that? I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get emotional. Nimekuja nimereason hapa hivi sobali afu nimalize na kuwa emotional. No. They are not gonna get to me like that. So I gotta go. But please take care of yourselves, take care of your families. Once you get home, call your people, let them know that you're safe so that they don't worry. And if you haven't gotten home tangu Tuesday, we ni mkora, ni mkora. And you need to reach out to your people, let them know that you're well. But just take this video and start to think. Let's start to think about what next. All right, let's start to think about what next from here. What next? What do we do now? How do we go about this now? Because now they know we're here. Now they know we are unstoppable. Now they know we are unmovable. Now they know we are tribeless. What next? Sindio? Uncle Mike here. I'm out.